Children, I welcome you all in this today's live class of chemistry. Children, as we are discussing the chapter structure of matter, and we have discussed some of the topics of the chapter in our previous classes. In previous class, I have explained you about the topic symbols and formula, and I hope that you understood the topic and the homework which I have given, you all have done that homework. Now, today I'm going to explain the next topic of the chapter, that is groups, which are used in chemistry. Now, the groups. In some compounds, two or more elements act together as a single group. For example, in sodium sulfate, sulfate represents SO4, that represents sulfate group, and in sodium nitrate, that nitrate NO3 represents the nitrate group. And just like that, carbonate, sulfate, nitrate, bicarbonate, hydroxide, ammonium, these are some of the names of groups which are used in chemistry. So we will discuss them in detail. Groups. As the term indicates, when two or more than two elements join together chemically in a proper ratio, they form the compound. And the same compound act as a group sometimes when they again react with other elements. So here Na2SO4, this is sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate. In this compound, this SO4 is a group, and the name of the group is sulfate group. Because the one molecule of sodium sulfate formed when the one molecule of sulfate group get joined chemically with two atoms of sodium. So it forms a molecule of sodium sulfate. And just like that, we have some more names of groups. CO3. This is carbonate group. NO3. Nitrate group. HCO3. This is bicarbonate group. OH. Hydroxide group. And ammonium. NH4. So these are some of the examples of groups which are generally used in chemistry because they again join chemically with some other elements and forms the new compounds, as one of the example I have given you. And itself these groups are a kind of compound, because in carbonate one carbon atom and three oxygen atom, they react together to form one molecule of carbonate. In nitrate, one atom of nitrogen and three atoms of oxygen combine together to form one molecule of nitrate. In bicarbonate, one atom of hydrogen and one molecule of carbonate. They both are present, they both join chemically to form one molecule of bicarbonate. In hydroxide, one atom of oxygen and one atom of hydrogen present together, and in ammonium group, one atom of nitrogen and four atoms of hydrogen. They forms the one molecule of ammonia. So these are the groups. Now come to the next. The examples of some of the compound which formed by the groups and their formula is given in this table as the compound sodium carbonate, copper sulfate, copper nitrate, ammonium chloride, and so on. And their formulas are also given there. So let's come to the board. The compounds which are formed by these groups, like sulfate, it formed the compound copper sulfate. When the group reacts with copper, forms the copper sulfate, and just like that, sodium sulfate, and so on. Carbonate, calcium carbonate. The one atom of calcium and one molecule of carbonate. They together forms the one molecule of calcium carbonate. NO3. This is nitrate and it can form the compound copper nitrate. Children, just see there the NO3 whole bracket twice 2. It means that the one atom of copper react chemically with two molecules of nitrate group, then it forms one molecule of copper nitrate. This is copper nitrate, and copper nitrate contains one atom of copper and two molecules of nitrate group. Now bicarbonate, the example is sodium bicarbonate. In this compound, the bicarbonate group is going to join chemically with sodium atom and forms the compound sodium bicarbonate. So we can say that the one molecule of sodium bicarbonate consists of one atom of sodium and one molecule of bicarbonate. OH group, sodium hydroxide. One atom of sodium combined chemically with one molecule of hydroxide group and forms one molecule of sodium hydroxide. Just like that, potassium hydroxide. So one atom of potassium will combine chemically with one molecule of hydroxide and will form the potassium hydroxide. NH4Cl, that one molecule of ammonia group is going to combine with one atom of fluorine and form the compound ammonium chloride. So the compound ammonium chloride consists one molecule of ammonium group and one atom of fluorine. So these are some of the examples of the compound which formed by the certain groups which have these groups. And then I hope that you understood about the meaning of groups and how they are going to play the role to form again a new compound, another compound. Now, till in the next topic that we will discuss is atomicity. It is an important topic of the chapter. So please pay your attention in this topic much more. The atoms of some elements can exist independently. For example, helium or neon. They are known as monoatomic elements, and their chemical formula is therefore the same as their chemical symbol. However, the atoms of many elements cannot exist independently in nature. They form molecules containing two or more atoms. For example, the molecules of hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and chlorine. They have two atoms each, and they are known as diatomic elements. Thus, H2 represents a molecule of hydrogen, N2 represents a molecule of nitrogen, O2 represents a molecule of oxygen, and Cl2 represents a molecule of chlorine. The number of atoms present in a molecule of an element is known as its atomicity, and the atomicity some of the common elements now we are going to discuss. Atomicity. Children, the atomicity is simply indicates that the number of atoms of an element present in any compound. You can say that an element is either present in single atom or more than one atom. So that will termed as its atomicity. So we have two types of atomicity. The first one is monoatomic element. monoatomic elements. As the word indicate here, mono, that is single. So those elements who are made up of a single atom is termed as monoatomic elements, like helium. The one molecule of helium is having only one atom of helium. So we can say that it is a monoatomic element. Just like that neon. The one molecule of this contains one atom of neon. So it will also termed as the monoatomic element and so on. Now the second one is the elements who have more than one atom of the element. So such kind of elements are termed as diatomic. So simply we can define the term diatomic elements as the elements whose one molecule is made up from two atoms of that element. Like oxygen. But the element oxygen is always found in the form of molecule, and the one molecule of oxygen is having two atoms of oxygen. So we can say that this is one molecule of oxygen which is made up from two atoms of oxygen. Just like that, nitrogen. The one molecule of nitrogen have two atoms of nitrogen. Chlorine. The one molecule of chlorine is made up from two atoms of chlorine. Hydrogen. The one molecule of hydrogen made from two atoms of hydrogen. This kind of elements are termed as diatomic elements. I hope that you understood these two different kind of elements on the basis of number of atoms present, monoatomic and diatomic. Now children, come to the next topic, that is information given by a formula. So let us take an example and explain what information does the formula of a compound give. Like the formula of water, it gives us the following information. The first one, water is made up of two elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen. So we can say that the formula of a compound tells the types of elements present in the compound. Second, a molecule of water contains two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. Thus, the formula tells how many atoms of each element are present in the compound. And the third is H2O, that is water. It represents one molecule of water, and the formula represents the molecule of the compound. If we have to represent two molecules of water, we write 2H2O, and similarly 5H2O to represent 5 molecules of water. Now children, come to the board to explain it. Information given by the formula. So simply a formula of a compound give us following information. That first information is the first information given by the formula of a compound is the formula of a compound tells the types of elements present in the compound. Which type of elements are present or what elements are present in that compound. So we can know it with the help of its formula. Just take an example. As we know that the formula of ammonia, the formula of ammonia is NH3. So this formula is going to tell us that the compound ammonia is made up from the element nitrogen and hydrogen. These two elements are present in the compound ammonia. This is the very first information that we will get from the formula of any compound. Just like that, in water, the formula is H2O. So this is going to tell us the hydrogen and oxygen. This H indicate for hydrogen and O indicate for oxygen. So these two elements are present in this compound and so on. Carbon dioxide, the CO and O, that is carbon and oxygen. These two elements are present. So just like that, the elements which are present in any compound, we can know with the help of their formula. Now the second information which are given by the formula, the formula tells us how many atoms of each element are present in the compound. The second information, the formula tells how many atoms, that number of atoms of each element are present in the compound. So take the example again. NH3. As the formula of ammonia has given us the first information, it is made up from these two elements, nitrogen and hydrogen. Now the second information, it's going to give us about the number of atoms of these elements which are present in the one molecule of this compound. So nitrogen, one atom, and hydrogen, three atoms. So one atom of nitrogen and three atoms of hydrogen are present in one molecule of ammonia. So we can know about this number of atoms if we know the formula of ammonia. If we know that the formula of ammonia is NH3, so simply we can say that the one atom of nitrogen and this 3 indicate for 3 atoms of hydrogen, which are present in one molecule of ammonia. And just like that, in carbon dioxide, the one molecule of carbon dioxide. So formula is CO2. So as the elements which are present here, carbon and oxygen, and the number of atoms of these elements are carbon 1 atom and oxygen 2 atoms. So we can say that if we have the formula of carbon dioxide, that 1 atom of carbon and 2 atoms of oxygen are present in one molecule of carbon dioxide. Just like that, in water, the formula is H2O. So it have the elements hydrogen and oxygen, and the number of atom of these are hydrogen 2 atoms and oxygen 1 atom. So these information, the number of atoms, we can also get with the help of formula of a compound. So this is the second information that we can get from formula. Now come to the third. The third information is the formula represents the molecule of the compound. Simply, the formula of any compound, it represents the molecule of that compound. That example again, ammonia, formula NH3. So this NH3, as it indicates the first, it is made up from two elements, nitrogen and hydrogen. It indicates the second, the number of atom of nitrogen is 1 and the number of atom of hydrogen is 3. And now it's going to indicate that the one molecule of ammonia is made up from one atom of nitrogen and 3 atoms of hydrogen. Or you can say that this is one molecule of ammonia. If we are going to write here 2NH3, so this will indicate that two molecules of ammonia, and so on. So this formula is going to tell us that how many molecules of this compound is present there. The one molecule if only NH3, two molecules if 2 is there, 3 molecules if 3 is there, and so on. And some more example, 5H2. This indicates that 5 molecules of water, because only H2O is one molecule of water. This is the formula of one molecule of water. And if 5 is mentioned here before it, it means that 5 molecules of water is present. CO2, 2 is mentioned here. It means 2 molecules of carbon dioxide. So this is the formula of different compounds which are going to indicate us about their number of molecules, and these all information we can get only from the formula of the compound. Once again, going to repeating that the first information that formula give us is the names of elements by which it is made up of. The second information is the number of atoms of those elements by which that compound is made up of. And the third information, that molecules of that compound, the number of molecules of that compound, or the structure of molecule of that compound. So I hope that you understood about the informations given by a formula. Now, children, one more thing here you have to remember about the formula and the atomicity. As I told you about atomicity, that the number of atoms which are present there in the element, so that will decide its atomicity. So if one atom, monoatomic, if it is made up from two atoms, diatomic. So as this is simple as O, atom of oxygen. So this indicates that one atom of oxygen, O2. This is one molecule of oxygen. So just see that there is a difference in these two, as oxygen is found in this state in the nature. So that is why always it's going to write as O2 everywhere, and that indicate for one molecule of oxygen, not that one atom of oxygen, because this one molecule of oxygen contains two atoms of oxygen. And same as chlorine, Cl. This is one atom of chlorine, but the chlorine is found in form of molecule in which two atoms are present. So Cl2, it indicates one molecule of fluorine. These two will be the monoatomic, and these two are the diatomic. As these two forms are not existing, so that is why here we will not use the term monoatomic for oxygen and chlorine. We can use the term monoatomic for helium and neon because they are existing in this form. As a one molecule of helium, one atom. One neon, one molecule made up from one atom of neon. So that is why these are termed as the monoatomic elements, and these are termed as the diatomic elements. Now, then I'm going to draw a table here which is already given in your book, in which we will see that the atomicity of the elements and the formula or the symbol of that element. In first column, the names of elements. First one is helium, second hydrogen, third oxygen, then nitrogen, fluorine, phosphorus, and sulfur. These are the elements. Now, come to their atomicity. As helium is monoatomic, it means that one atom is present in one molecule. Hydrogen, it is diatomic because the one molecule of hydrogen is made up from two atoms of hydrogen. Oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, phosphorus, and sulfur. These are the atomicity of these elements because they are found in molecules formed with this number of atoms. Helium, one atom, monoatomic. Hydrogen, two atoms, diatomic. Just like that, oxygen, two atoms, diatomic. Nitrogen is also found in the form of molecule in which two atoms are present. So diatomic. Chlorine, it is also diatomic because one molecule of chlorine is made up from two atoms of chlorine. Phosphorus, one molecule of phosphorus made up from four atoms of phosphorus, and the one molecule of sulfur is made up from eight atoms of sulfur. So we can say that these are polyatomic. Another term is used for them. Children, you will study about them in detail in your higher classes. Monoatomic, diatomic, and polyatomic elements. Now, their symbols are formula. Helium, He. Hydrogen, H. or H2. Oxygen, O or O2. Nitrogen, N or N2. Chlorine, Cl or Cl2. Phosphorus, P4, and sulfur, S or Se. So these are the symbols. Symbol of helium, He. Symbol of hydrogen, H. Symbol of oxygen, O. Symbol of nitrogen, N. Symbol of chlorine, Cl. Symbol of phosphorus, P. And symbol of sulfur, S. But these are the formulas of one molecule of these elements. As helium is monoatomic, so that formula is remain He. But these are diatomic, so the one molecule, their formula is H2, O2, N2, Cl2. And these are polyatomic, so the one molecule of phosphorus, its formula is P4. One molecule of sulfur, the formula is S8. So this chart, this table is going to give you the complete information about the atomicity of the elements along with their symbols or formula which are used to denote them. Children, I hope that you understood these topics which we have discussed today. Thank you and have a nice day.